everybody, what is going on? I am Lucas, and today we are going to be checking out some big hair tone with the ML Sound Lab Hair Metal Fire Pack. So, just so you guys know, this actual cab is based on the legendary Marshall 255 1B412 guitar cabinet. This particular one is from 1987, pretty much right at the peak of hair metal. And it has the original Celestion G12T-75 speakers in it. In the actual pack itself, you're gonna get the SM57, the SM7B, the Royer R121, the Sennheiser E906, Sennheiser MD421, the M160, and the Neumann KM184. You also get some pre-mixed ones that kind of, you know, like for Guns N' Roses and Cure and Inve, people who use these cabs like all the time and had some major hits with them. You actually get those into, and then you actually have 5 different brightness levels. You have A, B, C, D, and E for the cab. So let's check them out. So what you heard in the opening, that was with the 57 and the 421. And that's on brightness level D. Brightness level D, for some reason, is my favorite. I don't know why, but it just is. So let me let you hear what it sounds like with just the 57 real quick. Yeah, I missed that pinch harmonic. Sorry about that. The 57-121 combo sounds really great. Another combo that I discovered that actually sounds really good is if you use the 421 with the Guns N' Roses mix. Now I'm using Max Fix 3 to show you the IRs, and I'm using the Slash signature amp, the Appetite for Destruction amp, and I'm using that on the second mode, on the Appetite for Destruction mode, and yeah, so let's see what the 421 and the Guns N' Roses IR sounds like. I find these two actually sound pretty sweet together. Now let's go explore some of the other IRs in this pack. So as I said before, you have A, B, C, D, and E when it actually comes to your brightness levels. And you have a Cure Steel Panther, I believe that one's based off of. You have the Poison one, and you have the Inve IR, which I think is really cool. So it kind of like, if you're going for that tone, you can slap that on and it would sound great. So let's actually explore. Let's stay with the 57. I'll let you hear all of the different mics, but let's stay with the 57. I'm going to start with A, and I'm just going to work my way through so you can hear the different brightnesses of them. By the way, I have the proximity and smoothing on the cab set to that. This is what they sound like absolutely raw. It's not going to necessarily affect the brightness, but it's going to affect how it sounds. Smoothing matches the phase of the cab, and I find if you adjust these knobs, it makes the cab sound even more fantastic. So these are the different brightness profiles. For me, I really prefer D. I don't know why, I just do. And I find if you mix the same brightness levels across mics, it tends to sound better. So like, okay, so this is going to be brightness E with brightness D on the 421. This one actually sounds pretty good together. Watch, I'm going to mix in brightness A, and watch, listen how this sounds. The A has a lot more low end in it, and that one definitely came through when we were going here. So I find, I guess, if let's try C, just to see what C sounds like. See, C sounded good, but when you put in D for some reason, they just, the same brightness levels, they just tend to lock in and sound really great. So let's mute that for a second, and let's check out the with the 7B. And once again, I'll roll through all the different I'll roll through a few levels. I don't want to keep you here all day. 7B actually sounds really good, and I'm not gonna roll through all the different brightness levels. I'll pick a few different ones randomly. Let's go to the 121. The 121 tends to be a really dark amp, so if you mix it with brighter IRs, it tends to do extremely well. Let's try the 421 and the 121. It's a really interesting combination. Let's try it with the 57. That actually goes really well together. So as we can see, if you mix the bright ones with the dark ones, it sounds really good. Once again, I find if you stay, like if you're on D and you go to C or you go to E on the corresponding IR, it tends to blend a little bit better. When you get far away to bright profile like A and B, it tends to sound not as locked in, but they're not, I guess they're not in sync. I guess that's the best way to describe it. All right, let's move on to the 160. Once again, another dark amp. These all sound like super great, so it really all depends on what mic you like and what flavor, and it also depends on how it interacts with the sim, the amp sim, or the modeler that you're using. All right, this is a 184. The E profile on here sounds great, man. I guess the darker the mic, but the brighter the profile, and it sounds great. The 421 sounds really great. We kind of heard it mixed. Let's try profile A. For the 421, I find profile A kind of balances things out, being that it can be kind of a harsher type of mic. You have a lot of that hiss in there, but it blends really well with the 57 as we heard. All right, 906 time. Thank you for the 906. I think some of the earlier ones, did we even sample B? Let's see what B sounds like. Yeah, for me, C sounds the best when we're going through there. Oh, that's actually the end of the single mics. So let's check out the actual mixes here. So once again, we have Cure, we have Guns N' Roses, Black Panther. These are some perfect hair metal mixes. This is Cure. This one tends to be a tad bit dark, I find. And let's go to the jungle. This one gets in the ballpark, but I find if I'm going for Guns N' Roses, just the 57 and the 421, that's money for me when it comes to that tone. All right, let's listen to some Steel Panther, the greatest hair metal band ever in existence. This one tends to be, I find it's a little light on the low end, but you could always adjust your amp from that. Oh, some Poison. Bret Michaels and CC DeVille crew. If you really wanted to dial in the perfect tones on these IRs, you could, because this IR pack is so good. I'm not even going to try to play anything close to Inve, because Inve is an absolute machine, but let's see what this sounds like. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap it up for the ML SoundLab Hair Metal Marshall Cab Pack. This cab pack is very fantastic. I bought this because I do a series on my channel called Amps of the XFX3. If you want to check that out, I'll put that up top. And I go through all of the amps in the XFX3, and I was coming up to a block where I had a bunch of Marshalls coming up, and I wanted like a really cool Marshall cab pack, and I chose this one, and I'm so glad that I did. It sounds fantastic. Messing with the smoothing definitely makes them come alive for me. I didn't really mess with anything else. I just put the preamp to high and the smoothing, and that's it. I converted them from the pack to put them on my XFX3, but guys, if you want a really good Marshall pack, I definitely implore you to check these out. So, if you have any questions, any comments, any concerns, let me know in the comments down below. But as for me, I'm going to have to be out. Peace.